Greetings, fellow Terrans. Professor McKee here with our second episode for our initiative playthrough. And thanks for the feedback about the audio, game audio being a little too loud. I've turned it down. Hopefully, it is low enough that you can hear me more clearly. If it's still a problem, please let me know in the comments and I will try and fix it. Again. Alright, so last time we have fully control over Russia. We are moving in on Ukraine, which the servants control, so I don't feel bad at all about conquering it. And we have a little bit of extra room, so I'll probably be moving on some additional countries, probably the Eurasian Union ones, because they're easy to grab and fold into Russia quickly. And then I can do further expansions. And now that we've kind of gotten past the early game scramble, I'm going to start doing some more cutting and editing out some of the in-between mission phases. So I will be back in just a little bit when I do the next mission phase and kind of explain what we're doing, or if there's some interesting event that happens. So be back after the cut. All right, so we have our next mission phase with our 5th counselor finally added in. He's going to try purging out this crackdown point. This is a super cheap country. It's only cost me 5 control point capacity, and since it's already in the Federation, I can merge it into Russia pretty easily. So I'm going to go for it even though it's not super valuable. My hacker is going to try to crack down this other servant's point, also very cheap. These only add up to about 10. And Turkmenistan is also another 10, which basically hits me very close to my cap right now. So I'm going to try and quickly grab that. Uzbekistan's a little bit too expensive, but once I fold some things in, I'll have more room. And I did change up my priorities for Russia a little bit. I think an extra army would really help with the conquering of Ukraine here. Having a 4th one to work with is going to be quite nice. So I'm kind of rushing that a little bit, as well as boosting military to keep up with the Ukraine's military advances. And trying to stabilize Russia, that's going to help a little bit in terms of their performance. Research-wise, I am trying to seize control here of the advanced carbon manipulation. I would like to control at least one tech slot if possible. It's going to be hard because Russia doesn't produce a lot of science for me, and the other ones are pretty much locked down by someone already. And we're going to finish alien signatures in just a second after I start this mission phase. So let's continue and watch that. So we have extraterrestrial life touching down on Earth, but we haven't really spotted anyone. So there's a new project for our faction.
We've analyzed the samples.
So our research has confirmed it's not on Earth, and they've arrived at an unescapable conclusion that there's an alien at large, which is more appropriate for popular entertainment than serious people. There's also disappearances. This is very similar to most of the other factions. We barely know anything about the aliens at this point, so our sort of preconceived notions about how we should respond don't really matter. We need to know more. Everyone needs to know more. So we're going to have to try and spot them. It's been a while, so we might not be able to spot them very soon. And yeah, we want to research Deep System Skywatch, which someone is already doing, and destroy something so we can cover some salvage. I'll just put in a dummy project. I'm not going to research here. We don't really need it. And well, on second thought, I do need these eventually. So I will spread them out. It'll give me a little bit of extra science. And I still should maintain control over this global tech. So that's our very first story mission complete, and there'll hopefully be more soon. I'll come back when we have some exciting things happen. Well, our ability to control the research is in jeopardy, so I'm going to. Oh yeah, I'll keep researching. Actually, the military science lab, but I'll stop one of my projects to make sure they don't steal it from me. Perhaps they're a little unhappy with me purging them out and cracking them down over in Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. But I've had pretty good success here. the control nations failed, but I have one of the points. I have the first point in Kyrgyzstan, and I successfully cracked them down, so pretty good success there. And the Ukrainian invasion continues to slowly grind away. Be back after the cut. We are on to our next mission phase. Going to take the last free point in Kyrgyzstan. Going to purge them out in Tajikistan. Take the last free point in Turkmenistan. And Zhao is going to be boosting public opinion, so I can switch off full unity to things that are more useful, like, for instance, boosting economy, running funding, so I can get some more money for free. Also, once I federate them into the Russia, I can push their boost and mission control as well, which is also very nice to have. All right, so we're going to run that and continue locking down the rest of Central Asia and Ukraine. Be back after the cut. Okay, so it's a very short cut. We have a new project. This is one of the new projects in the 1.0 release. My understanding is that this is unique to every faction. I've seen different versions of this when I've played other factions. For the initiative, we have a great project here because we're getting extra 3 admin for every single counselor. Admin is a really great stat to have, so I'm going to set that as favorite. I'm going to take off Military Science Lab and put in Talent Development. I can't slow down the global tech yet, but I will be working on this tech because this is a great project to have. And we're back at the regular mission phase. Taking that last point in Tajikistan, along with lots of public campaigns to make sure it goes well. My tycoon can't do much else besides like defend interests and things like that until he gets some more orgs. And further stabilization of the Russian unrest, getting it back down. It'll squeeze out a little bit of extra research for me. Just a tiny bit. And here we go. All right, so the Deep System Skywatch has completed. Looks like they're out at Veruna. We're doing advanced electromagnetism. Got it, no problem. Where is Veruna in the solar system? Let's zoom out here, thank you. So the Kuiper Belt strategy would mean you want to go over here, which Pluto is on the opposite end. Great. This is going to be great. So I'm going to go for Pluto is is by far the best place to go for if you're going out to the Kuiper Belt early game, or mid game perhaps. But yeah, they are way on the other side, so we're going to have an easy time colonizing outside outside the outer solar system. So good to know. That will become relevant in a little bit, probably not this episode or even maybe the next couple. And this also means Academy is heavily cracked down. They don't seem to have lost anything in Germany, which is really important for them probably. No one in the US yet. Exodus in India, interesting for them. But yeah, it looks like Academy is doing okay. They still have control over a number of key countries over here. And not too important to us because we don't have any major targets we want to go after besides perhaps Estonia. Although I don't really have room for more. Okay, so we'll be back in a little bit after the next thing happens. So next mission phase, doing a lot of public campaign just to push public opinion fully in our control, and then we can start doing nice things. And the sooner I do that with the council actions, the sooner I can start doing better investments. And my one guy here, Yang Shang, actually, let's grab that. It'll give him public campaign so he can do some more useful things besides defend interest, although I think defend interest on Singapore is a good idea. I really don't want to lose my main boost production here once it actually gets going. And in a few days, we will have our global tech complete.
Of course, there was an accident.
They picked Outpost Habs.
Just get the recovery.
Good choice. There's not many choices that would be terrible, really. And we have finished advanced government manipulation. Okay. I'm not sure why it isn't completing. It says 100. Maybe it's a rounding error or something. Or 1,000.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
We've moved the needle.
Just
There we go.
imagine, Ifenchi, how this world would change if we could mass manufacture building materials in an instant.
Yes,
Homes
yes, yes.
built for mere pennies.
But more importantly, we can make
Irrigation
money
for
doing
every
that,
village.
Commissioner
A
Banerjee.
brighter
Okay, so the reason I did that is one, because that global tech is one thing that helps with the fission frag drive. I really want to unlock that because that's a really good drive for sending a colony ship out to the Kuiper Belt. And also, I want to get domestic politics and domestic arrival economics done, because arrival markets and institutional outreach are both really great projects. They expand your org pool, and they increase so you have more chances to roll a good org in your counselor in your pool here. Which, hey, I got a pretty good one here now. Xenon Laboratories, 10% material science. But more chances means better chances. So better chances for a good org. So I'm going to pick up domestic politics and to continue trying to rush down talent development, because an extra 3 admin on all 5 counselors is really nice. And thanks to some additional orgs I bought, particularly one criminal org, the original criminal orgs are now actually giving you a little bit of admin +1. Doesn't pay for itself, but it's something, and it gets me money as well as some ops income, which I kind of need. I now have a little bit of extra room, so I'm going to take not Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and once I finish this project here and get 15 more admin for between my 5 counselors, it'll be, enough room to finish and take the last point. Otherwise, I'm just investigating an alien crash landing in China for a little bit of extra xenology research. And that's about it. So let's come back when the next thing happens. I have my 4th army, moving it into Odessa to make the finish taking this region easier, because there's a penalty for each region without fighting in it. So this is sort of a spoiling attack to make sure that we can take Donetsk easier, and then we finish. We're getting pretty close, 77%. Progress over here is not going so well, but we got there eventually. And we've spotted some alien activity. Some alien sightings, some people that have gone missing, so we're going to investigate that down in South America. And that'll be advancing the storyline, so I'll be back in a little bit after the cut when we get to that. So our investigation over in Guyana is complete.
We're having trouble envisioning the aliens as any kind of business opportunity.
Yeah, this might not be a good business opportunity for us, unfortunately. How are we supposed to make money off people that are acting very hostile towards us? So they're targeting and abducting individual humans. While a handful of human abductions isn't a big deal, Initiative doesn't really care much about individuals all that much, but they might be adversarial to us, which could be a problem. So we have to continue our mission with more investigation. I believe there's a project that'll unlock momentarily that I'll have to research, if I remember the early game correctly. But be back when more happens. Okay, so next mission phase. I have a little more room, so I'm grabbing the last point in Uzbekistan. I'm also taking that one crackdown point in Kazakhstan. It does get me a little bit of boost, almost 0.1 boost a month. And I would like to grab that and be able to kind of just have all of Central Asia locked down before I move on to regions that are more hostile to Russian control, let's say. Also, yeah, alien methods is unlocked, so I'm pushing that a little bit, although if I don't put enough into domestic politics, the resistance is going to steal it from me, so I have to be sparing in how much I research the project. And I've also found an excellent counselor. this guy's got social scientist. That's basically why I want him. Social science research is really useful, especially early game. Otherwise, his traits aren't that great. I'm gonna have to like remove loss averse because that's going to kill his loyalty at some point. But I do want social science trait, so I'm going to pick this guy up, and I'm going to reassign Caitlin here. I don't really need her anymore for the Control Nation Scramble. Junsheng is basically better than her. He has Inspire. She doesn't. He does have Pariah, so he's bad in China, but that's okay. So unfortunately, my fellow person from Chicago is going to be dismissed.
Mission canceled.
Yep, goodbye there. And we're going to hire the scientist. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the guy's name. And I'm going to give him this nice org here. And I'm also going to give him Perun. Perun's org is not that amazing, but you do get public campaign mission and some extra science, so, you know, I'll take it. Can't be too picky when you're this early in the game. And as much as I would like having some of these Russian government orgs, this one's not bad in terms of expense. I don't have the influence for him. It does mean excuse me. That does mean I need to reassign this guy. I could do advise. I'm not. He doesn't even have any command, so I think I'll be using his public campaign. Let's boost funding a little bit there, shall we? Well, he doesn't have much where he could do. How about Singapore? Nope, that doesn't really need anything either. But Kazakhstan could use some opinion boost. Alright, that looks good. I'll be back in a little bit when next thing happens. Now, I am going to start doing some federations. Azerbaijan is going to link up with the Eurasian Union here. And in a few days, we are going to have the global tech finished, so I get to pick one. As you can see, we've successfully taken Donetsk, and now we're simultaneously attacking all the remaining regions. Oh, they've abandoned it. Looks like they've cracked down, huh? Well, that's good. This means this army is going to be fighting at significantly worse -0.2 because they've abandoned it. I assume it's abandonment.
Opinion is moving in our direction.
And we are pushing Kazakhstan
Their hearts and minds.
to hopefully eventually take full control there. And Singapore just finished there, so I'm gonna, let's prioritize the boost over the mission control. But I do want mission control.
You'd think a threat this big would finally make us abandon old grudges and band together. But humanity always finds a way to hurt itself, doesn't it? Commander Fiona Ayawade, undated letter.
Okay, so that'll unlock a project which gets us the extra orgs, and I'm also going to do rival economics, although at this one I'm not as concerned about maintaining full control over. I've got plenty of projects I want to get involved in. I want to get more boost production. I want to finish that story tech, which it's cheap, so it'll finish quickly, and I can advance the storyline more. So that'll be my goal there, and I'll be back when more things happen. Alright, so they've finally chosen one of the mission to ones. It's the better choice, actually. You want mission to Mars to complete before you do mission to the moon. I'm going to abandon rival economics. There are several techs I want to grab, particularly the high speed or projects I want to grab, so I'm going to rush projects right now, let them do whatever with these global techs to make sure I get things that I need, because I want high thrust probes. Pretty soon I'm going to need space tugs as well. And I should have a another project for the orgs unlocking very soon too. So I've got to push those. I probably actually should push a little bit into orbital shipbuilding in hopes we get something useful there too. Okay, so that's how I'm readjusting my techs based on what they chose for the global tech. I'm kind of at the mercy of the AI a little bit because Russia doesn't produce a lot of science right now. So we've completed alien methods. This will allow us to detect additional alien missions, their abductions, basically.
The aliens seem to be targeting people in positions of authority.
Yeah, so original abductions were of lower order mammals. Then they started going after humans. Now they started going after people that are important, which worries the initiative because we're important. The most likely outcome is, of course, that they're hostile to us. And given their superiority in tech, that's a concern. So we're going to need to continue to try to learn what the heck they're doing. And I need to switch over to some thing like, say, the high thrust probes. Although as long as it completes well before mission to Mars, I'm going to be fine. So I will deprioritize it. Trying to get our boost income production up more than that. And that is all for the research, so I'll be back in just a little bit. Well, this is an interesting event here. So Russia has a new anti-satellite missile. Perhaps we were developing it to try to, maybe shoot down an alien ship or something. And the United States doesn't like that. We are definitely going to proceed with this test that gets us 0.1 military tech. So this annoyingly long war in Ukraine will go much faster with that. It's a big bonus to military tech. We even invest a little bit in boost. Also good for us. We lose public opinion around the world, but in Russia it goes up. But all my countries that I control, I'll just regain it passively as I have a little bit of investment into boost just for things like this. So we proceed with the test. And we've lost public opinion in Ukraine and Azerbaijan and so on, but it's fine. We will get it back. And Russia just went up by 0.01, so not that much there, but our military tech is now up to 3.95 versus only 3.82. So we're going to have much better success against these guys, and hopefully we win faster. All right, I think this is a good place to end the episode. I don't know exactly how long because I do all those cuts, but it's probably been about close to an hour, and we've made great progress expanding Russia influence, if not direct control. We're about to federate Turkmenistan, and that's going to allow us to do some investment into mission control, even boost potentially down there. With a little more pushing, we should be quite successful in fully grabbing all of Ukraine. And then I think my next target, in terms of like military expansion, Georgia, no allies. I already have a claim. It's a hostile claim, and I don't think we're ever going to be able to convert it away from a hostile claim. So, little adventure in the Caucasus Mountains, however you pronounce that, is going to be in our future as well. And in terms of research, they're doing mission to Mars. I'm going to be doing a lot of the projects I need to try and get ready for sending stuff into space. So try to advance orbital shipbuilding because I would like to get mass drivers started. We need that to get the outpost mining, which we need that to start mining on the moon to bootstrap our way into space. So that's important to get, and no one's sort of picking up mass drivers yet. And this is the cheapest one to go for. But I also have so many useful projects. I want to get high thrust probes before this completes, which it's not on track actually. Let's change that a bit. I want to get this bonus to boost as well as the reduction in boost cost. I want to get the extra orgs. I want to get this other boost one, the super heavy chemical rockets. Space tugs will eventually be nice. Extra 10% research from our control points. That's a new project from 1.0 release. That's a great one to grab as well. Although our research production is not super high, but it would give us like probably something along the lines of 40 or so extra science. It's a pretty good investment, and it's going to increase over time as we control more and more countries. So we're in a decent place. Our boost is actually quite good. No one else besides Exodus, somehow, I don't know how they got that much boost, is beating us, and we have much better income than them. So we're in a pretty good spot. They're very competitive right now because we're sort of deliberately going after a not so great opener, but that's okay. So if you have any additional house rules you think would be fun to add, please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed, please comment, like, and or subscribe so others can find this video too. And I'll see you all next week.